Hi, my name's Rachel and welcome to How to Connect to Odin. Odin is considered the oldest and the highest of the Norse gods. He's also known as Father of the Slain, most learned and the one-eyed god. He is a powerful god of magic and vision, of a sky, of warriors, of wisdom and understanding, also sometimes of poetry. He can support you with connecting to duality, the duality primarily within yourself, so that all the ways that you are paradox, the shadow and the light, and how to bring that into integration, how to understand wholeness within yourself so that you can have more acceptance, understanding and compassion for that in the world around you. He is also a great teacher around perspective, and he can help you to widen your vision and so your understanding as well. He will help you to see beyond conclusions, beyond judgments, beyond your own understanding at present, so you may know more, so you may know deeper, so you may listen. And so here are my top 3 tips for connecting to him. My first tip is to connect to the elements of air and ether, and these are his 2 sacred elements. Those 2 elements bring through the themes of vision and communication, of understanding, expansion and space. And so my first tip really is an activity, is to connect to Odin in places that are generally up. So places like mountains, hills, places where you are above. If you can't get to a mountain or a hill, then you can go to open places such as meadows, or perhaps somewhere where you have a vast view over a lake or a forest. And the reason being is that he is a great teacher about perspective, about vision. And these are the places where his eagles and his ravens are able to soar and see above. And so he invites you into viewing from above. This is having a full perspective, considering perspective, getting out of the tunnel vision that we often live with in our lives, whether we're focused on just one thing or one way. He invites you to truly open and see all that it is, so as the highest and the greatest. He is above, not above to look down on and judge, but above so that he can see all, he can consider all. This is where his wisdom comes from, that he's not closing his eyes. He is able to see all that is and all that can be. My second tip is to connect to his sacred numbers. The first of those sacred numbers is the number 2. And this is his 2 wolves, his 2 ravens, his 2 eyes, one the sun and one the moon. The number 2 again emphasizes this theme of duality and paradox. So if number 2 turns up, when you're working with Odin, or it just turns up in your life, then this is a signpost telling you that you need to work within on paradox or integration or duality. Or you may want to seek this number and bring it into your ritual and your ceremony. You can represent it on your altar, ceremony or ritual by having, 2 feathers, 2 walls, 2 candles, one lit and one unlit, which is representing his 2 eyes, just to remind you of those themes. His second sacred number is the number 9, and this is the number of listening. So in his mythology, Odin hung himself for 9 days in his pursuit, his seeking of wisdom. And so it reminds us to seek and to pursue our own understanding and to deepen our own wisdom. So if you want to work with this aspect, or if 9 turns up, then it's an indication that this is your particular focus, perhaps working with Odin at this time. And I suggest doing what I call a 9 vigil. So for 9 days, 9 hours, or 9 minutes for 9 days, or 9 months, is to come into a meditative space where you are purely listening, so in complete silence. You may want to close your eyes or even blindfold yourself so you can't see. So you are listening from mind, body, heart and soul. See what comes up, and you can share here in the comments, or you can share in our Facebook community as well. My third tip is to connect to his companion and his symbol of the wolf. There are three ways that he is connected with the wolf. One is through Gary and Freki, who are his companions. He's also considered a wolf himself in the archetype of grandfather wolf. And also he was destined to be killed by Fenrir, the great wolf, at the end of times. So the wolf may turn up for either of these three aspects, and they each have a different lesson. So example, if he turns up, in relation and working with Fenrir, it's working with the themes of acceptance, of understanding, of death and rebirth. If Gary and Freki turn up, then they're teaching you again, re-emphasizing again this idea of duality, of paradox, of integration of the two. And also they are teaching you about pursuing wisdom and pursuing understanding. The wolves are tenacious, they have stamina. The way that they pursue their prey in the hunt was kind of deemed to be the way that Odin himself pursued wisdom and understanding. And so if they turn up, they're saying to you that you are on a process, on a path now to come into full integration by pursuing understanding. And then if Odin himself appears to you, has an epiphany as a wolf, then he is coming forward as the archetype of grandfather wolf. And this is something I work with and I share more about in my book, Wolf. So there I explain how Odin embodies the archetype of grandfather wolf, he who listens and he who gives counsel. So he teaches us to listen in a way that is not just, if you think about the way that sometimes we listen in that we're trying to think of a response. We're thinking, oh, how does this relate to my own life? But what if you truly listened, listen to not just what people are saying to you, but the land around you, the sounds of the wind and the elements. What if you listen to your own body? What if you listen to your memories and your messages that are coming through? It's about having an opening, and listening with your whole mind, body, heart, and soul. So listening is a full experience, and that enables us to listen to and to understand all. And the grandfather wolf is really that counselor for the pack. He's not the wolf that is dominant. There isn't such a thing in the wolf pack. They work as a pack. They all contribute their unique magic and message and unique offering. And the grandfather is one who has been through the cycles, who has been through life many, many times, and he sits there in counsel. But to offer counsel, he must listen. It's not about speaking. It's about hearing what people are truly saying. So those are my top 3 tips. If you want to know more about Odin and wolves, or wolf mythology in general, Fenrir's in here, Loki's in here, all of the wolf gods and goddesses, like how they're in here as well. And I share more about the archetype of grandfather wolf and how you can embody it and work with it. So check that out. I'm a best-selling author of mythology, ancient mythology. So I'll post a link down below for my book so you can find out more. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions at all, anything you'd like to share, please just pop it in the comments below or come into our Facebook community and you can share there as well in a bit of a more private space. You can hit subscribe as well if that feels resonant for you, or you can reach out to me if there's anything more you would like to know. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this supports you, inspires you on your path with working with the great god Odin. Many, many blessings to you.